All right, welcome to Friday's live review class. Today we'll be talking about the test because we learned about when it's going to be, what the format's going to be, how long you'll have, how to work, and everything. So I'll wait till some of you come on in and then we'll get some information up and running. When you come in, go ahead and introduce yourself in the live chat. And so I know you're here. Hello, Maria. Go ahead and introduce yourselves when you come on in, and that way I'll know if you're here to at your question. Hello, Mariah. Lots of interesting stuff today. Hello, Valerie, Victoria. Lots of things to say about the test. So I'm going to wait about 30 more seconds before I start talking about what we learned about. Hello, Galilea, Seth. Yes, figured it out. So it's the weekend. I'm not sure how much different that makes things, but yeah. Hope everybody is staying sane and not not going too stir crazy. So let's go ahead. Hello. I don't know if you're having a hard time with the issue. It looks normal on this end. So let me know. Could just be the person before the camera. If a lot of people in your house are using the Wi-Fi, then the video may be difficult or may have some delays. Okay, so here's what we know. The test is going to be later. We had thought there were going to be two. Well, there are two tests, one earlier, one later, but the big day is May 13th. That's going to be your test day, and it's going to be at 1 o'clock. And it's going to be 1 o'clock for everybody. So May 13th, 1 o'clock for everybody. That means you're going to need to plan to get online about 12:40, 12:45. So you're ready when the question pops up, and then you'll answer the question. You have the option of typing it on your Chromebook and uploading it, or writing it and taking a picture. If your typing is slow, then you're going to want to write it. Once the 45 minutes is up, you'll have 5 minutes to upload your answer, which means if you wrote it, you could take a picture of it and send it in. If you typed it, obviously you'll upload it. But the key is those 5 minutes that you'll have to upload your answer. So if internet access is a problem for you at your house, we're going to need to know that, because we can go ahead and talk to the College Board. So you don't need to put it in the live chat here, but I already know about some people who have internet access issues. You don't have a whole lot of internet. You don't have the internet at your house, so you're relying on data. If that's you, we need to know so we can let the College Board know, because they are going to work to make this available to people even if they don't have the internet. So I'm kind of curious to see how that's going to work, but at the very least, if you had the question, you could then take a picture and upload it through your phone to the platform. How's that going to work? We don't know yet. They're going to send out more information, and we have a while yet. It's April 3rd, and it's not till May 13th. Now, what if you work during that time frame? It's a good question. Well, you have enough time to ask off for that afternoon and for the other time. And remember, it's just a 45-minute test. It's not, the old 3-hour test. So you're not having to take off a whole day. But you want to make sure you're off from maybe 12 to 3, 12 to 2, so you could take the test, upload it, and then go to work. There are makeup days, and those, they haven't set the specific makeup schedule, but those would be June 1st through the 5th, after when technically the school year had ended. So right now, they're not planning on extending the school year, like as far as going to school, because you're doing classwork. But some activities like graduation, prom, others, may go into June as well. But so let's get right to the questions. Brian asked this question: can you explain more on the visual web? She was talking about something about connecting the ideas. We've done this a lot when we go through and we tag each sentence in our essays, you know, topic sentence, Q1, C1, Q2, C2, and conclusion. The teacher in the class today had some interesting ideas, perhaps taking a line, drawing a circle around your thesis, and then drawing a line to your topic sentence, drawing a line to your commentaries, and then your paragraph conclusions. And that can be helpful to see if all of your ideas are linked. That might be something that we do as one of our activities between now and then. The 5-finger turkey, or the turkey hand, it's kind of a neat picture and it can help you connect. But if you're somebody who has a hard time writing quickly, you know, that's going to take a lot of time. I'd like outlining, but I like outlining in terms of bullet points, phrases, instead of writing out sentences that you're going to use multiple times. I don't think you need to write out your whole thesis statement, but you might. But I definitely don't think you need to write out your whole introduction paragraph. I mean, why? Thesis maybe, but then nothing else more than bullets, especially if time is something that has, you know, been a factor for you in tests. Okay, so analysis. So for those of you who are scared of poetry, you're off the hook. No multiple choice questions, no questions about iambic pentameter, no questions about the Shakespeare. You don't have to know the Shakespearean versus the Petrarchan sonnet. So you're off the hook. It's just one essay. And of the three, it's probably the easiest essay to write because you don't have to know anything about an outside book, although we are going to finish Brave New World and do some analysis activities on the remainder passages. And you don't have to tear apart a poem. You don't have to remember Enjambment, Caesura. So what does that mean, though? If it's the easiest question, then they may come up with a passage that's old school in language. That wouldn't surprise me to see something from the 1700s, 1800s, where the language is a little bit older because they want to make sure that the test is still hard. So, you know, we'll look at some passages from older school English, you know, Shakespeare, Jonathan Swift, you know, writers like that. So just be prepared for that. Don't expect to open and see a passage from the Hunger Games. It's not going to be that easy. So I think it's good news for those of us who are used to analysis. It's also good news for those of us who haven't read a whole lot of novels. And it's good news for those of us who are afraid of poetry. So I think this is one of the best outcomes we could have had. So I hope that's encouraging to you. I don't see any other questions in Remind. So now it's time for you to ask questions about the test or the lesson today, which I thought it was a very good lesson. If you did not watch it, I recommend that you watch it. And if you watched it once, I recommend that you go back and watch it again. I'm going to put up my notes, but I recommend that you go back and watch it again because as far as getting, you know, it's a 6-point rubric. 1 point for the thesis, 1 point is for polish, but the other 4 points come from your organization. So these are the points that are going to determine whether you pass the test or fail. So I would watch this class again, and if you have other questions about it, you know, these are things that we'll talk about. So what if the system for the test crashes? You know, and that's a very good question, Mariah, and it's something that I thought about. English literature is not the first test that's going to be administered. So I believe it's AP US History, and that's a very popular test. So if the system is going to crash, it will crash for them. And hopefully they will have had a chance to put something together and fix it. But that's you know, if the test crashes, obviously they're not going to fail everybody. There'll be another opportunity. But, you know, but the best answer is I don't know. I think that, you know, it's what they're going to do is post the question, and then you're going to write the question yourself, and then you're going to take a picture and upload it. Or you're going to type it on your Chromebook, and then you're going to upload it. You're not typing it online on their website. So I don't really know why it would crash, but it could. You know, if everyone is submitted in that same 5-minute window. And that, you know, for me as a teacher, that's the biggest concern I have is that 5-minute window. what's going to happen if, you have buffering going on, or, you're at home and your hotspot, it's an interesting question. But, all that we can do is take advantage. All we can do is, do our best, and then, I think we'll be rewarded for that. So Valerie said, Kiara, when is the date? May 13th. May 13th. 1 p.m. So you want to log in, and everybody in the country is going to be taking this test at the same time, which is kind of interesting. But let's see. Okay, May 13th. It's a Wednesday. So just like we were thinking about, Wednesday, May 13th. Valerie says, I'm a little scared for the essay because of the writing. I'm a slow typer. So what if I don't finish? Don't type it then. Write it by hand and take a picture and send it in. Your handwriting is good enough. There are only a couple of you where the handwriting is something that I'm concerned about. And I'll be reaching out to some of you individually, either about, can you type fast enough, or you really need to work on your handwriting. And we'll talk about that. So if you're a slow typer, write it by hand, take a picture. Other questions about the test? Maria says, yes, we will submit where. They haven't emailed that to us. They did send out an email to teachers today talking about the information that I gave you. Plus, I watched the video last night, and or that was posted last night. We'll tell you well before May 13th where you're going to submit it. So you'll have that information. I would imagine, if I'm guessing, you already have AP accounts, College Board accounts set up. I would imagine that there will be a way for you to log into your AP account and submit your essay. In fact, one of the things, there are some online activities on the College Board website that we'll be doing between now and May 13th. And so that'll get you used to logging into your account and submitting work. Let's see, other questions that you might think of. Well, it's the same 6-point rubric. The grading process is going to be the same. They'll have readers, although they probably won't have readers come together in one place like they do. Like, I think it's usually Kansas City, just because of the whole social distancing thing. But they will have readers working off one rubric, reading everybody's essays and scoring them. So that process will be the same as it's always been. Do you guys have any questions about the class today? Any questions about how to build a line of reasoning? Okay, last call. Okay. Maria says, I think there are not going to be any questions because we can easily Google it. Well, it's an essay question. How are you going to Google answers to an essay question? Now you might say, well, I'm going to go to Cliff's Notes, or I'm going to go to Spark Notes, and I'm going to pull up. But it's going to be analyzing a passage. It's not, some, the open-ended question. So Googling a passage and finding out more about the novel and things like that wouldn't help you, because all you're doing is analyzing that passage from that story or that book. Everything you're going to need as far as historical context, what's happening in the book, you would get from the instructions. Right? Yeah, Maria, there's no multiple choice. It's just one essay. One essay, 45 minutes, and then 5 minutes to upload it. What else? I really hope that we're viewing this as good news, because it really is. I think this is going to be as good, for us as any of the outcomes would have been. Syra says, will we get time to read the passage? Well, remember that in the normal test, you have 3 essays in 2 hours, so 40 minutes apiece. They're giving us 45 minutes, so you'll have 5 extra minutes to read and pre-write. And then, but then the 45 minutes is for everything. 45 minutes is for everything: pre-writing, reading the passage, pre-writing, and writing, obviously. But we're going to do, several of these where you have between now and then, and we'll have some instances where we walk through the whole process again, and then some where you're doing it on your own, and you're going to be responsible for clocking your own 45 minutes for the practice things that we do, obviously. So, other questions? Okay, Maria asked a question about the 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there, so I just typed an answer in the live chat. But you should plan to log in at 12:40 on May 13th. You will get the question at 1 o'clock. You should stop at 1:45. You will have until 1:50 to upload your answer. Valerie asked, and this is a little different topic. She asked, so we really are graduating next month, and I haven't really heard any updates on that, like what's going to happen. Well, right now that schools are closed in the state until May 4th. And I read a news headline that said, the stay-at-home order in Dallas County will extend to May 20th, which gets really close to when your graduation date is, which I'm not sure what the date exactly was, but I knew it was around Memorial Day. So, I don't, as far as the date of graduation, obviously that's still very much up in the air. But I would address those questions, to Ms. Vega. She's, but I don't know that she knows a whole lot more than that right now. But you can email her. You can, she's got the Twitter account. Okay, May 26th. I don't know. With a stay-at-home order in place until May 20th, I guess it's possible that you have graduation on May 26th. But, it may go into June. So, be flexible, be patient. I do know that, the school is very focused on keeping graduation as special for you as it has been for everybody else. So, but it's just one thing of a lot of things that people are thinking about. I will say that I do know that they're planning on collecting Chromebooks ahead of graduation. So make sure that you're keeping your Chromebook in good shape, and also that charger. So I do know they're going to collect that as part of graduation. Sarah said, do you think we'll be able to get our money back from all the senior events that were canceled? Miss Vega put out a message on Twitter about that last weekend, I think Sunday. And she said that right now that's a district decision, because obviously all that money goes into an account with the district, and every school now has questions about that. I do think, though, that they're looking at options for a June prom and June dates for some of the other events. So I don't think those have been officially canceled yet. I would plan on taking care of your library. Fine, Maria. I would plan on taking care of that. And no, it's not computers in exchange for your diploma, but they're expensive machines that the district spent a lot of money on. So, they're going to want to make sure they have those back. All right. Any other questions? Okay, so Monday and Tuesday, there will be quiz up for 13, 14, 15. We'll have lessons at 11 a.m. both days, and there'll be different lessons, so you need to tune in. We'll look at the College Board classes Wednesday, Thursday, and then Friday, we may not have a live class, but we will we'll be finishing up an essay. Yes, the quiz will be in Socrative once again, and it'll have the same schedule, 9 to 10 both days. Any other questions? Absolutely, Syra. There are, you may have noticed that there haven't been late points taken off for anything. We're being very flexible as far as deadlines because we know that people are working. Not everybody has the internet. Not everybody has the internet all the time. So get your work in, and we will make sure you get taken care of. I did put up a fun question in Classroom for today if you want to take a look at it. Kind of something I've seen a lot on social media. Thought you guys might enjoy answering as well. Last call for questions. Do as well as you can. I'll be uploading grades today and over the weekend for the work that you've been submitting. And so do your best to have a fun weekend. And we will see you Monday, quizzes at 9. And then the dogs are in the other room. So, but I'll see if I can't bring them in here on Monday. Quizzes on Monday, we'll have a lesson at 11 and then a Q&A afterwards. So everybody stay safe.